What's the story, everyone? Welcome back to GA Fan TV. My name is Aaron, and Kerry are National Football League champions. They have beaten Donegal by a scoreline of 218 to 10 points. A huge victory for the Kerry footballers. They win their first National Football League title since 2017, and a huge victory for Kerry going up against a Donegal side that made 8 changes in total coming into this game. A completely different Donegal side to the team that faced Tyrone last week, and obviously, Donegal even made a couple of changes going into that game as well, with the likes of no Paddy McBrearty, etc. So, huge victory for Kerry. We'll delve into all the reaction, all the talk in the match reaction here today as Kerry win the National Football League yet again. Okay guys, so first of all what we'll do is we'll have a look at the teams that participated today, of course, both Kerry and Donegal, so we'll have a look at the lineup. So we'll start off with Kerry in goal with Shane Ryan, Jason Foley, Tyg Morley, Tom O'Sullivan, Paul Murphy, Peter Crowley, Gavin White, and then in midfield, David Moran and Dermot O'Connor. Micheál Burns, Sean O'Shea and Ronan Buckley made up the half forwards. Full forward, Tony Brosnan, David Clifford and Dara Moynihan. Okay, moving on to the Donegal side, so Sean Patton, Paddy McGrath, Brendan McCall, Stephen McManaman in at fullback, of course, halfback, Caelan Ward, Eamon Doherty and Dara O'Bale, and then of course in midfield, Caelan McGonigal and Jason McGee. Half forward, Pader Morgan, Niall O'Donnell and Kieran Thompson. Full forwards, Jamie Brennan, Michael Langan and Oisin Gallen. And of course, there were 2 late changes in there as well. So Andrew McLean and Jake McKelvey came into the side for Pader Morgan and Niall O'Donnell. So, yeah, look, listen, obviously Donegal making a load of changes coming into this game. 8 changes in total coming into the match after Pader Morgan, of course, dropping out of the team. And yeah, look, listen, obviously if you're a Donegal fan, you won't read too much into this in all honesty, because there were a lot of changes coming into this match. You've no Paddy McBrearty, you've no Ryan McHugh, you've no Michael Murphy. The list goes on. I think everyone knows the talent that Donegal do have and the players that were not on the pitch today. But they were impressive and they did start the game quite bright. Kieran Thompson got an early score for Donegal, and certainly up until the first water break in the opening 15 minutes, Donegal were a side that were bossing proceedings, and Kerry did set up very defensively. They were trying to catch Donegal on the break, and certainly Donegal were keeping possession very well in the first half. They were winning the midfield battle. Caelan McGonigal, absolutely outstanding in the midfield there for Kerry. He done a great job going up against the likes of David Moran in midfield for Kerry, for example. So, yeah, look, listen, Donegal in that opening, stage of the first half were certainly very bright indeed. And, obviously the big change, of course, was after the water break. David Clifford picking out Tom O'Sullivan and a great pass into Sean O'Shea, who of course slotted it past Sean Patton in goal. And that was pretty much the turning point. From there on in, Kerry were, in cruise control. They dominated the game from there on out. And look, listen, Donegal were able to respond with a couple of bright points. As I said before, Kieran Thompson, outstanding in this game for Donegal. He kicked some really great points indeed for Donegal. And, for Kerry, from there on in, particularly from the cornerbacks and the wing backs, they've done a fantastic job at supporting the Kerry attack. I thought Tom O'Sullivan, absolutely outstanding at times, supporting the half-forward line and the full forwards. And in particular, certainly making a huge difference. You would also have to say as well that Tony Brosnan, what a performance, what an addition that Tony Brosnan is to this Kerry side. Absolutely no doubt about it. Tony Brosnan, as I said before on my channel, from watching him with Dr. Crokes, I think he is a serious talent to have in this Kerry side. And when he got injured, it looked like he wasn't going to participate in the All-Ireland season and in the National League season for Kerry. He got injured, of course, during the County Championship with Dr. Crokes. And yeah, I didn't, when I made my All-Ireland prediction, I was basing it off that he wouldn't be involved. And look, listen, Kerry still have a number of very talented forwards to come in. The likes of Tommy Walsh, the likes of James O'Donoghue, Paul Gainey, for example. But obviously, with Tony Brosnan in there, that gives them a huge option. And certainly, Kerry, they're looking like favourites for the All-Ireland, in my opinion. It is between them and Dublin, in my opinion. And Kerry showing a lot of positives in this game. Defensively set up brilliantly, hitting Donegal on the counter-attack. and Donegal just weren't able to handle it. Of course, if Donegal had been full strength and had had all their players, in this game, obviously Donegal have one eye on the Tyrone game next weekend. But yeah, Kerry just hitting Donegal on the counter-attack, hitting them on the break with, Kerry's wing-backs and cornerbacks, supporting the attack, and in particular, Tom O'Sullivan, as I said. Gavin White, another outstanding performance from him as well. He got the second goal, a great run. The space opened up and he slotted it comfortably past Sean Patton for Kerry's second goal of the game. And yeah, look, listen, even despite the Jason Foley black card, and obviously Donegal had a black card in there as well with Paddy McGrath, Kerry were still able to control the possession, control the game. As I said before, Caleb McGonigal, he had a big chance there before the end of the first half, and that could have been the difference. If he had got that goal, then maybe Donegal could have found a way back into it. But, going into the second half, Donegal made a lot of changes as the game went on. They're thinking of the Tyrone match. They want to get their players up to full speed. Oisin Gallen, of course, looking bright as well for Donegal at times. Young player, of course, coming through the Donegal ranks at the moment, and he will be a player to keep an eye on in the next few years, and he will certainly be in contention to start in that Tyrone match. Man of the match for me, Tony Brosnan. He scored 6 points in total, 5 from play. Sean O'Shea, of course, as well. Outstanding, hitting 1-5, including a goal as well. David Clifford, as always, outstanding. In the first half, he was a little bit quiet in terms of his point scoring, but in the second half, some fantastic points at times. Kicked one from 37 metres at one stage in the second half. And, Kerry, once they had that lead and once it was going into the final, 15 to 20 minutes, you knew that Kerry were going to always see this game out. And as Donegal made a lot of changes, you could tell, with the breeze against them in the second half as well, that, the motivation levels just weren't quite there for Donegal, and Kerry were able to comfortably slot more points over from the likes of Clifford, Sean O'Shea and Tony Brosnan. So, yeah, big win for Kerry. They are National Football League champions, of course. As a Dublin fan, I didn't want them to win today. I wanted Donegal to win so that Dublin, could beat Galway and win the league. But look, listen, Kerry haven't lost a game in the league this season as far as I'm aware. I might have to double check that, but I think Kerry have gone unbeaten this season in the National League, and they've shown that they can play defensive, that they can hit on the break. They have the forwards. Their midfield, of course, still, they still have Jack Barry and David Moore, and you'd feel is their best midfield partnership, and maybe that's how they will play going into the Cork game. But certainly, Diarmuid O'Connor, great option in midfield as well. So, look, listen, yeah, huge win for Kerry. Do let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the game. Who was your man of the match? What are your thoughts on Kerry winning the league? It's going to be interesting tomorrow from a Dublin point of view. Will Dublin and Dessie Farrell make a lot of changes going into that game now with the fact that it is essentially a dead rubber? It'll be interesting to see, of course. For Galway, obviously, they've missed out on the league having lost to Mayo, and obviously they've given Kerry the impetus. I'm sure they will still want to bounce back anyway, but it will be interesting to see. I suppose we'll move over to Dublin and Laois later on. I will be doing a match reaction to that. Hopefully Dublin can get the win there, but we'll see what happens. Plenty of results, of course, that happened today that I will cover, obviously, in the fan reaction show on Monday. Cavan get relegated from Division 2 after Laois scoring 3 late goals. Armagh promoted alongside Roscommon. Huge, of course, for Armagh. And I did have Roscommon and Cavan on in the background. And Cavan gave absolutely everything. But unfortunately, Roscommon, very decent defensively. And that goal from Enda Smith proved to be the massive difference. And Cavan actually had a late chance that they missed as well. And if they had scored that, they would have levelled up the game. So, yeah, look, listen, obviously very intriguing games all around. I'll have to check the Division 4 scores as well. I believe Wicklow and Limerick were on track to be promoted last time I checked. So that will be interesting. But as I said before, I'm going to wrap this up here. Do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Aaron, and I'll catch you in the next one.